Hey, what's up guys, this is Sandeep Sky, and in this video I'm going to show you how to dual boot Arch Linux and Windows 10 or 11 using the official Arch install script. So let's get started. So first of all, you need to download the Arch Linux ISO file and Rufus in order to proceed. So download the Arch Linux ISO file from the official website of Arch Linux and Rufus from its official website. And once you have downloaded these both files, insert your pen drive, which is at least of 4 GB, and open Rufus. So after installing pen drive, open Rufus and select the ISO file which you just downloaded. And after that, for the partition scheme, open system information and check for the BIOS mode. And as you can see, mine is UEFI, so I'm going to use GPT partition scheme. And if you have legacy BIOS or something, you need to choose the MBR partition scheme. And after that, click on start. But before doing this, please make a backup of your pen drive data if you have any before doing this, because it will erase all the data in your drive. So please take a note of that and click on start. Since I've already done it, I'm not going to do it again. And after that, close your file explorer and everything, and then right click on your start menu and open disk management, and then right click on any of your local disk and select shrink volume. Now give at least 40 GB of free space for Arch Linux and click on shrink. And after that, close disk management, and now it's time to reboot and boot from the Arch Linux ISO file. Now while your computer is restarting, press the F2 key to boot into the BIOS menu. So in the BIOS menu, go to Advanced Security and disable the secure boot. So this process may be different for your motherboard. Please look up on internet for your motherboard accordingly. And then press F10 to save and exit. After that, press the boot menu key, which is usually the escape key or F12 key. Again, it may be different depending on your laptop or motherboard. And after that, select the UEFI or just flash drive or USB option, and it will boot into the Arch Linux installation medium. So once you are in the Arch Linux installation medium, so first let me just increase the font by using this command, set font -d. So after that, make sure that you are connected to the internet, and if you are using a Ethernet connection, you are already good to go. But if you are using Wi-Fi, you need to connect to Wi-Fi first using the iwctl command. You can find the video in the description box below or in the I button right up the top, or you can look up in my channel or other channels. So since I'm using Ethernet, I'm already good to go. So before proceeding, type lsblk to see your disk and drive structure. So you need to note where you created the free space. So as you can see, I created a free space in my 256 GB SSD, and its label is NVMe 0 and 1. So you need to note down the disk or drive where you created free space, and it may be different for you, so please note down the number that shows up right here. And after that, type cfdisk /dev/ and then your drive number. In my case, it is NVMe 0 and 1. So just press it, and you need to locate the free space which I created in the earlier part, and then type new, select new, and create a 1 GB partition, and this 1 GB will be the EFI partition. So select the type as EFI system, and select the remaining free space as the Linux file system, and please make sure to note the full block number of these two partition. For me, it is /dev/NVMe 0 and 1 P5 for EFI system, and /dev/NVMe 0 and 1 P6 for my Linux root file system. So after you have noted down these two numbers, choose the right option to make the changes, and then once you have done that, exit cfdisk using the quit option. And if you type lsblk again, you will see these two new entries. So please make a note of these two entries, and you need to format these two entries and format the EFI as FAT32 and the root partition as ext4. So for this, type mkfs.fat-F32 and type the block number of your EFI system. In my case, it is /dev/NVMe 0 and 1 P5, and it will be formatted as FAT32. And for the root partition, we need to format as ext4. So type mkfs.ext or space /dev/NVMe 0 and 1 P6, which is my root partition. So that's done. And after that, you need to mount the root partition into /mnt directory. So to do this, type mount /dev/ your root partition block number. In my case, it is me 0 and 1 P6 into /mnt. Now we need to mount the EFI partition into /mnt/boot. So for that, we need to create a boot directory under mnt first. So type mkdir/mnt/boot, and after that, type mount /dev/NVMe 0 and 1 P5, which is my boot partition block number, and then we need to mount it under mnt/boot. So now all our partitions are created and mounted. Now we can just use the archinstall script, but before doing that, we need to update the database first. So type pacman-s SY, and after that we need to install the keyring as well. So type pacman-s arch linux-keyring, after that, now we can run the archinstall script. So just type arch install, and it will open the arch installation script. So this is the arch installation script. You can choose the install language. I'm going to leave it on English. Change the locale, again default is fine. Mirrors and repositories, you can choose the multi-rib repository, etc. according to your liking. Now the most important step of the installation, which is the disk configuration. Select this option, click partitioning and choose the pre-mounted configuration, and here you need to type /mnt because we mounted the root partition under mnt. So just enter this and press enter and go back. Now I don't want swap, so I'm going to leave it. For the bootloader, I'm okay with system deboot, but for dual boot purpose I'm going to choose the bootloader as refined because it is also great for dual booting. You can also choose group if you want, but for this video I'm going to choose refined. And for unified kernel images, I'm going to leave it on enabled. You can also choose Plymouth if you want for that cool animations during boot. And for kernel, I'm going to leave it on default Linux kernel. For hostname, I'm okay with Arch Linux. For authentication, I'm going to set my root password, and then I'm going to create a user account. And make sure this user has the super user sudo access, and then confirm and exit. Go back. Now for profile, choose the type as desktop and choose your favorite desktop environment. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to choose XFCE4 because it is lightest and installs quickly. And for the graphics driver, since I have an NVIDIA GPU, I'm going to select the NVIDIA option. But if you are using AMD or Intel GPU, select your GPU accordingly. And for greeter, I'm okay with the Lightium greeter, but if you want to use something else, you can choose between these options. Go back, and for applications and Bluetooth, I don't want to Bluetooth for now, so I'm going to click no. For audio, choose Pipewire, and if you want, you can also enable print service. And for power management, you can use Power Profiles daemon, and if you want, you can also set up firewalls and additional fonts. Now for network configuration, choose the option which is Network Manager Default Backend. Now if you want to enable color in Pacman, you can choose this option. You can also select additional packages if you want, and you can also change the time zone and time sync as well. And if you are happy with the configuration, you can begin the installation by just simply choosing the install option and select yes. Now the installation speed will depend on your installation internet speed, so please wait a while for this to finish. And I'm also going to fast forward this video. So the installation has finally completed. Now you can choose to exit archinstall or reboot system. So for now, I'm going to choose the reboot system. And once you select this option, you need to press the boot menu key again. So press the boot menu key of your laptop or the BIOS key, and go to the advanced mode and change the boot order of your system. So make sure that the refined or your Arch Linux option is on the #1 priority, and then press F10 to save and exit setup. Now your system will automatically boot into the refined bootloader, so that allows to choose between our operating systems. So as you can see, so let's boot into Linux for now. So as you can see, we have booted into Linux successfully. Now let's boot into Windows. So let me just shut down and restart. So now let's boot into Windows to check if our Windows installation is okay or not. So as you can see, we have installed and dual booted Arch Linux using the official archinstall script. And if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.